Hey everyone, today I'm going to tell you a story that might make you wonder, is this really possible? What if two princesses, born in the same kingdom, had incredibly different fates? One who grew up with every luxury imaginable and another who lost everything and became penniless. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is a true story. Today's tale isn't just about two princesses. It's a wonderful journey of fate, choices, and finding one's true identity. If you watch this video until the end, you'll understand that just being born in a palace doesn't guarantee a successful life. Instead, inner strength and the right choices can elevate even a penniless girl to the status of a queen. A long time ago, in a vast and prosperous kingdom, lived a king and queen. They had an only daughter, Princess Leela. Leela's life was like a fairy tale. From birth, she saw only gold and jewels, silken clothes, and countless servants. Every wish of hers was granted in an instant. Whatever she desired, she received. New flowers for the garden, instantly delivered. Exotic fruits, flown in from distant lands. Leela never knew what hardship was. She thought the world was created just for her. Her arrogance and self-satisfaction grew day by day. But this luxurious life unknowingly built an invisible wall around her. She became completely isolated from the outside world. As dazzling as Princess Leela's life was, equally simple was the life of another girl, Rina, growing up in another part of the same kingdom. Rina's father was once a custard guard in the royal palace, but due to a misunderstanding, he was dismissed. Rina was born in a small hut, amidst poverty and hardship. She had no connection to the royal family, only one similarity. She too was a resident of the same kingdom. Rina learned from an early age what struggle was, what poverty was. She worked in the fields, took care of her younger sister, and dreamt that one day their days of sorrow would end. Her simplicity, hard work, and love for people made her dear to everyone. One day a terrible famine struck the kingdom. In Leela's palace, nothing changed, as the king's treasury still held vast amounts of wealth. But for common people like Rina, deep darkness descended. There was no food, no work, only cries of despair everywhere. Rina then decided she had to do something. She took her younger sister's hand and set out in search of food. On that journey, she saw the true nature of people, their helplessness. Leela was still sitting in her palace, grooming herself in silken clothes while Rina was roaming the streets, witnessing people suffering and thinking, despite the kingdom's immense wealth, why are people dying of hunger? When news of the famine reached the king, he became worried. He realized he couldn't control the situation. Meanwhile, news of Princess Leela's extravagance and arrogance also began to reach the king. Leela had never understood the sufferings of her subjects, nor had she ever inquired about them. To her, royalty meant only indulgence and luxury. Eventually, the king realized that his daughter was not fit to rule the kingdom. He called Leela and sternly reprimanded her, but Leela couldn't understand her mistake. She continued to be disconnected from the people. On the other hand, Rina became beloved by the people for her simplicity and humanity. She helped others as much as she could with her meager savings. One day, she went to the royal palace and saw the king talking to his subjects. Rina bravely approached the king and explained the situation of the kingdom and the sufferings of the people in detail. The king was deeply impressed by Rina's words. He saw how much love this ordinary girl had for the people of the kingdom. The king then made a difficult decision. He relieved Princess Leela of all her responsibilities and declared that whoever truly worked for the people of the kingdom would be the rightful heir. Leela initially couldn't accept this decision, but there was no way to disobey the king's order. She became detached from her luxurious life and saw what true hardship was. Deprived of the comforts of the royal palace, she realized that her life until then had been nothing but an empty glass wall. The king then gave Rina a chance. Rina, with her intelligence, hard work, and love for people, quickly won the hearts of the subjects. She found new ways to tackle the famine in the kingdom. She worked with farmers, solved water problems, and established a strong governing system where everyone had equal opportunities. Rina proved that even without being a princess by birth, she could take charge of a kingdom and earn the love of her people. Slowly, the kingdom prospered again. Rina, from being a penniless girl, became the beloved queen of her subjects. And Leela,
She shed her arrogance and learned to live a simple life closer to nature. She understood that true happiness and respect lie not in wealth but in the love of people and one's own deeds. Leela realized her mistake, apologized to Rina, and Rina accepted her warmly. Together, they made the kingdom even more beautiful. This story teaches us that being born into wealth or having an abundance of possessions doesn't make someone great. True values are hidden in a person's heart, in their actions, and in their humanity. If a rich princess is arrogant and irresponsible, her downfall is inevitable. And if a penniless girl is intelligent, hardworking, and humane, she can reach any height through her own merit. Life sometimes takes unexpected turns, but our decisions in those moments determine our destiny. And that was our story for today, The Rich Princess and the Penniless Princess. I hope you enjoyed this story and learned a lot from it. If you want to hear more amazing stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to our Fairy Store official channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for being with us.